MiLady Coffeehouse is a locally owned coffee shop in downtown Fremont. The owners Glenn and Nancy Ellis didn't originally plan to open a coffee shop. Instead, they were looking for a way to grow their software company, Sycamore.
So we started looking at buildings that we can not only move Sycamore into, but also create that entrepreneurial ecosystem that would help feed into Sycamore. And in order to do that, you need a coffee shop. You need a community space where people are going to come together.
The Ellises never planned to run the coffee shop, but as plans kept falling through to have someone else run it, they found themselves preparing for the role.
We had scooters look at it, and they wanted to put a shop in here, and then they backed out because of the franchise fees. And then another gentleman was going to run the coffee shop for us, and closer and closer we got to the opening day, he kind of backed out because of some of the stuff that we wanted to do in the building. About 2 months before opening, we realized that if we want a coffee shop, we're going to have to do it ourselves. So partnered with a company in Omaha called Hardy Coffee, Aroma Coffee Houses, and that company has been extremely good to work with to help us become coffee shop owners.
The Ellises didn't want to just open a coffee shop. They wanted to open a place that would be used as a space for the community.
We did it. We had a vision in a grander scale. We knew we just didn't want a coffee shop. We wanted a community place. So you can see, by the way, we have the arrangements. We have what's called living rooms. And so people can come in and grab a living room, and I mean, it's just unbelievable. On a Saturday morning at 9 or 10 o'clock, this place is abuzz because you got meetings going on, you got Bible studies here, you've got family reunions over there.
Nancy said that a lot of thought went into the decor and the aesthetic of the coffee shop.
We knew that we wanted to expose as much brick as possible because that's very much the vibe nowadays. So we took a lot of debris off the walls to expose the brick. Most of the wood in here is from the third floor of the building. It was the warehouse floor, and it was too rough to refinish. Our architects told us right away, we're just going to cover that up, to make it level, and we decided we couldn't let that happen. So our boys actually spent an entire summer on the third floor pulling up each board one at a time. We've heard that the greenest building you can build is one that's already been built, and that's kind of what we've done. Instead of going out and buying new material, we've kind of recycled what was there.
MiLady Coffeehouse is housed in the May Brothers building. The building has a lot of history in Fremont and is where much of the inspiration for the coffee house comes from.
MiLady Coffee was actually the name of the brand that May Brothers sold here in Fremont, and then they were actually bought out by the company in Lincoln, H.P. Lau, and so the name went into Lincoln, and they started selling the coffee there in Lincoln. So we actually have some canisters downstairs of MiLady Coffee, May Brothers building, Fremont, Nebraska. It's got to be dated back to 1881 or back in that time. So we took the building back to the original name. People were freaking out. I was like, well, what are you doing? It's like, well, that's the history of the building. And then we named the coffee shop after the coffee that they served here. The May brothers came, Joseph T. May was 20 years old when he moved to Fremont in 1868, 2 years after the Civil War. Started a grocery store. Then a brother came out, and they just start a business out of nothing into this regional grocery store warehouse area, and built it up over the next 50 years, and to the point they sold it off to the company in Lincoln in 1920. So
Glenn and Nancy have even more plans for the May Brothers building to help future entrepreneurs.
We've got it designed so there's going to be one wing that's going to have very cheap office space for anybody that's trying to do a startup company.
We want to be Lincoln's little brother and look up to Lincoln. If you think about the Haymarket and the entrepreneur emphasis down there, and the vibe of the restaurants and the entertainment, that's really what we're going for.
Yeah, second floor is going to be our entrepreneur ecosystem. That's kind of the whole desire here, is that me and Nancy have walked down this entrepreneurial path. We wanted to help other people down that track.